commercial break, but let's now talk Taylor Swift because she is now being praised by Travis Kelce's friend Baron Corbin for being able to, quote, hang with the boys and being, quote, so nice and down to earth, end quote. Why am I quoting so much? So why do you think of the importance being placed on down to earth or being able to hang with the boys? Is that important? Is that a big deal? What do you think about this, Miguel?
I think it's important to want to get along as best you can with your partner's friends. Like that should be a goal in a partnership. But there's like a huge gender disparity here, right? Like I don't think men are held to the same standard where you have to get along with your partner's girlfriends, right? Like whatever they want to do, it's like you're not expected to be involved in that same way. Whereas when a girl's hanging out with a bunch of guys, it's like she better drink beer and watch baseball. And it's like, is that really the standard we're holding people to?
Yeah.
I feel like it's totally unfair.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, that's what the subtext is. Although I go back and forth with this one because I think we all know what it is like to hang out with somebody who's annoying, right? Oh. Who's like high maintenance, who's like busy. You remember it was kind of personified by Meg Ryan's character in When Harry Met Sally, right? Remember she was doing the order that would take like 15 minutes, and you're like, I never want to hang out with a person like that. The problem, as you pointed out, is that in this case it seems to be very gendered.
Yeah.
Like I know for a fact there are men, my partner being one of them, he takes longer to get ready than I do. So I think that the idea that someone has to be sort of like easygoing, down to earth because they drink and they talk about sports. Like there's something about that doesn't. It seems very sort of sexist.
Yeah,
to me.
I feel like when I was younger, this is the type of trap I would fall into because you meet a nice guy and then you know how important it is for you to get along with his friends. And I'm going to be very honest, and I've seen other women do this as well. I started pandering and changing myself to make his friends think that I was cool and like, oh my God, I like her. She's really cool. She can come around. And then I learned that I was a huge mistake and I should always be my authentic self no matter where I go. And I learned an even bigger lesson because I dated this one guy and there was one time we hung out and all the guys brought their girlfriends. And then the next time we hung out, all the guys were with these different women. And I was like, who are these women? And these were the side pieces. And I was like, oh. But it was kind of treated like, don't worry, that's them, you're here, it's cool. And later on, what do you think happened to me? That guy cheated on me. And what I learned is, show me your friends and I'll tell you who you are. So my message is to women, stop trying to fit in and be a guy's girl and be yourself and pay more attention to who he surrounds himself with. Because that is all you need to know about him. You can be in love all you want, but his friends will definitely tell you who he is.
You know what's interesting about this is I wonder if it is more about the girl or is it actually more about the guy? I think a lot of guys are worried about losing their boy when he gets into a relationship. And so if the girl is a guy's girl, then they know they'll still continue to see him. He will still come around because there's a lot of guys that they'll start dating a girl and then they'll disappear from the group. And I know that this bothers a lot of guys. Like, where'd you go? So I wonder if this is more about them saying, well, Taylor has assimilated so nicely into, into all the football, the guys and the thing. But I do wonder to myself, is the opposite true? Like how I actually think Travis is probably seems like a really good job to also ingratiate himself with her friends. So it seems like it's pretty equal that way. But again, I just think, who's this about? Is it about Taylor or is it actually about the guys saying, we just hope we don't lose Travis?
Yeah, or maybe they have a persona of her because she's a very successful, young, beautiful woman that she was not going to be. She was going to be high maintenance and difficult, all the words they use for us. And maybe because she was not what they expected, they're like, oh, she's really cool. It's like, yeah, what else was she going to be? So maybe that's also at play as well. But
yeah, Taylor Swift is cool. Like, I didn't know what she was going to be like.
Who do you think is harder to please? A group of girls, a guy meeting a group of girlfriends, or a girl meeting a group of guys? Who do you think is tougher?
Oh, I think it's harder to impress the women.
You think so?
Yeah, we are.
But they won't let you know in the room. It's after you leave. Then they'll be like, he's terrible.
That's right.
Get away from him.
That's right. That's like the ultimate test, no? When you bring the guy around.
Yeah, I'm having flashbacks of this one time when I brought this guy with the girl. You ever had that when you're dating someone and you just sort of let them run wild in the party? And that's a real clue as well. When you're like, oh my God, what is happening out there? Right? You don't trust that they aren't having embarrassing conversations. That's when you know you're sleeping with the wrong person. Like just anyone watching.
Yeah, that's true.
You give them a list. Don't talk about this, and this.
Yeah. This is true. This is true. Miguel, we always love having your male perspective here on the panel.
Hey there, what did you think? Drop your comments below and join the conversation. And don't forget to like and subscribe so you can find more on everything from food and fashion to pop culture and current events. See you soon.